Hey gang, I'd like to talk to you really briefly about the analogy of the mind and sky and the thoughts and clouds. So first, I'd like you just to consider really quickly, look up at the sky wherever you are, wherever you happen to be, or maybe if you're inside, just think about the last time you looked up at the sky. Maybe it's been a while. And consider it just for a moment. What do you see? When you look up at the sky, right now I see clouds, and the sun sort of barely peeking through. And when you look up at the sky and you see those clouds, do you think that the clouds, are the clouds the sky? Are they just passing through the sky? Are they just sort of momentary blips in the vastness that is a big blue sky? When I fly, I'm always struck by, especially on a cloudy day, when we take off and as we reach cruising altitude, we break through those clouds, and no matter what the weather is down on the ground, however gross and cloudy or rainy it might be on the ground, once we hit cruising altitude, things get clear and the clouds sort of part, and it's just a big blue sky. The sun is shining no matter where you are because the clouds are underneath you. And what I'd like to propose is the idea that your mind is that sky, and that your focus, that your focus is your altitude, and your thoughts are those clouds. Because I want you to consider what is your mind? What is your mind made up of? The thoughts that you have at any given moment? Is it the internal monologue that you have? That like narrative that you have in your brain, or is it something? Is your mind your person, me, Eugene? Is it something a little bit deeper, a little bit bigger, a little bit more profound than just the thoughts that I have at any given moment? Because these thoughts and clouds sometimes, they're easier to see than the true cloud, the true like bigger perspective of the blue sky. It's very easy to confuse those clouds for your mind. It's very easy to confuse the racing thoughts that you have for who you are, for your overall, identity. And if your mind is the sky and the thoughts are the clouds, the biggest takeaway that I want to give is that no matter how crazy life gets, no matter what the hurricane of emotions that you're feeling are, if you go higher, if you go above those clouds, above those thoughts, there's a big blue sky out there. And if you can change your focus from ground level to above the clouds, above those thoughts, things can get a little bit calmer. And it's easier said than done, of course, to bring your altitude up, to bring your focus higher and broader to your overall mind, that big blue peaceful sky. And there are different ways to tap into it. Maybe it's mindfulness work, maybe it's yoga, maybe it's running, maybe it's CrossFit workout, and it's the little blissful moment at the very end when you're laying in the ground sweating and rolling around on the ground trying to feel human. But you can change that focus, and there's always a little bit higher that you can go, a little bit calmer that you can feel, and just try not to confuse or conflate the idea of those thoughts in your mind and the clouds in the sky. So think about that next time you sit down and do your mindfulness.